here. Just a 30-minute yoga session this morning. We're going to be focusing on a bit of everything really. It's not going to be too intense, so don't worry. But we're going to take the first few moments to just relax, set our intentions, our dedication, and just get ourselves in the right mindset. So right now I'm sitting on a block. If you haven't got a block, remember we can use a hardback book. That's absolutely fine. And we're just using that to ease the tension or any pressure in the lower back. So it just takes the pressure out. If you haven't got a block, that's absolutely fine. Okay? So we can use a book or we can use nothing. It just eases the lower back a little bit. Okay? And as you all know, I whinge about mine all the time. So if you are sat on that block or that book, your bottom, the nice squidgy part is on the block, and the bones of the bottom are at the edge. I want you to just let your palms fall open towards the sky, open towards the universe. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes at this point, close your eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, that's fine. Just drop your chin to your chest and find a focus point just to keep your eyes on. I'm going to be closing my eyes for these first few moments with you. So let's take a moment to just focus on our breath. Breathing in through the nose, down to our chest, down to the pit of the belly, and then allowing that breath to come all the way back up and out through the nose. Let us let go of anything that's not serving us right now. Let us just be completely present on the moment, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel your jawline relax and your tongue hang loose. Let those brow lines relax. Let us just be still for a moment. And as you're still for this moment, I just want to read you something. And I want you to keep this in your mind as we go through today's session. Behind rust, there is shine. It's easy to forget that you only get one body. Just as easy to eat too much or too little. It's easy to want to trade it in for another one, more beautiful, less moody, but always wakes up on the right side of the bed, without that creaky knee, bad ankle or peeling skin. It's easy to forget because we forget that behind rust there is shine. When you come back to yoga after months or years, and crust has set up camp on those creaky bones, and cobwebs have formed in your too tight muscles, remember, behind rust there is shine. Behind that second muffin is a desire to be happy. Behind that cup of coffee is a desire to feel alive. Behind everything you do for yourself, there is love. Behind rust, there is shine. Take a deep breath to moisten the cloth and grab your polish. Under the hardened layers of the heart, uncover the hidden inscription embedded in gold. You will always be enough. Keep breathing nice and deep. Bring our hands into prayer just in front of the chest. Thumbs resting into the sternum, eyes still closed. That's comfortable for you. Let us take a moment to set our intention or dedication for this practice. Maybe that practice is your intention today is to just let go, to be present. Maybe you wish to dedicate your practice to someone who you feel could do extra energy or healing right now. Whatever feels right and comes to your mind is right for you. Focus. Focus. Breathe. hands up above the head. Release that intention out into the universe. Let it be free. Let it be out in the ether. And then relax your hands down. Palms still facing up. If we're wearing glasses right now, we'll maybe just pop them on top of our head or to the side. Take our hands together in prayer and just rub them together nice and fast. Let's feel the warmth. And then let's place those warm palms over the eyes. Open the fingertips. Let the hands slide away. Very gently. Bring the hands just resting onto the knees. So right now we need to become conscious of our pelvic floor. So we are going to contract from the back of the bottom, round to the middle, round to the front. So remember that U-shaped belt that comes up and pulling all those muscles in. We then take our focus to our belly button. We begin to draw the belly button in towards the spine so we can feel that tension in there. So we're pulling it in. We've got about 25-30% tension in the core. Shoulder blades back and down. And we're going to keep that core and that pelvic floor engaged as we go through our workout. Our eyes are looking forward and we've got our juicy peach under our chin. We're neither jutting the chin out or squeezing the chin into the chest. Let us begin to rock the pelvis. So we rock back, create a C shape with the body, and then come tall. So we rock back, and as we come tall, there's a little bit of chest sticking out there, a little bit of protruding. Just inhale, exhale. Trying to remember to breathe in and out through our nose. So it's different to how we breathe in Pilates. In Pilates we're breathing naturally. In yoga we're breathing into our belly. So in through the nose and out through the nose. It's a deeper breath. We're going to sit nice and tall. Let us just take our left hand to our right knee, right hand behind, sitting tall, looking over the shoulder. We're neither leaning back or leaning forward, we're just nice and tall and we're looking over the shoulder. I don't want you really twisting your neck, I want you to just take it comfortably. So you're just looking over the shoulder and it feels relaxed. So we've got that rotation going on into the thoracic part of the spine, a little bit in the cervical part of the spine, the neck, but not too much. We certainly shouldn't be in any discomfort. And remember, if we've got osteoporosis, we're keeping this range really small, because we don't want to be doing rotations particularly big. Hold it there. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Let's come around to the other side. So right hand comes to the left knee. Left hand goes behind. We sit tall again. Head's looking over the shoulder, but only as far as it's comfortable for you. Neither leaning back, leaning forward, sitting as tall as we can. Now remember, depending on what time of day you do this practice, your body might be feeling stiff. So this is, I'm filming this first thing in the morning, so I know that my body will be going, ow, why? Okay, sorry for the high pitchness there. Because I'm generally better later in the day. So just be aware, like depending on the time of day, your body's going to feel different, okay? The longer the day goes on, the warmer our muscles get, the more we can move in, the more flexible and supple we can be. Gently come back to the centre. Sitting comfortably, either legs crossed or legs extended out, whatever's right for you. Just gently take a deep breath and come forward. Arms bend at 90 degrees. What I want you to make sure is you're not curling the body down. We're pulling the shoulder blades back and down, and eyes are looking slightly in front. So we can have our legs wide. We can have our legs however is comfortable, but we're just holding this posture. And of course, we're pelvically and abdominally connected. Take a deep breath. Can we go a little bit more, a little bit further into that stretch? And remember, we can always sway from the hips. We never bounce in any posture. That's no good for us, but we can sway. And then hold. And sway and breathe. So remember, behind rest is shame. Take a deep breath. your block or your book to the side. Hands beneath your shoulders, shoelaces to the floor, tailbone to the back of the room, elbows soft, core engaged. Drawing the shoulder blades together slightly, eyes looking down. Let's start with some lumbar tucks. Tuck your tailbone under and up towards the ceiling. Tuck it under and up towards the ceiling. So we tuck it under and tuck it under. So we're just bringing some movement into the lumbar spine here. The thoracic or cervical spine shouldn't be moving, so that's mid-back neck. It is just the lower part of the spine that is moving as we go through this movement. And of course you're pelvically and abdominally connected. And then relax, hold it there. This time take your knees as wide as your mat if you can. Big toes come together. Now remember, if shell's uncomfortable, we can keep our knees facing forward and our feet separate. Okay, otherwise we're bringing it back. We can always put a cushion between the bum and the ankles, and we're reaching forward. So we can take our block or our book and rest our forehead. We don't want to be dropping the head down to the floor, but we don't want to crease. And we're just holding it in shell stretch for a few moments. So remember, if this is unpleasant for you, for your hips or your knees, we can have the knees facing forward. We can have our bum in the air and let the head again rest on a block and just reach the fingertips forward and push the bum up in the air. So it's a similar stretch, just changing it slightly to accommodate what's right for you. So remember, we shouldn't be in pain, we shouldn't be in discomfort. We can feel the muscles fatiguing, getting tired, working, and that's fine, but we shouldn't be in pain. So we're just breathing nice and deep in this position. Now let's take a deep breath. As you exhale, walk one hand back, then the other. Now regardless of where you are, can we tuck our tailbone under, curl the body in, and lift the chest up. So we curl in, and out. Just two more. Curl in, and out. Last time for me. Curl in, curl out. Come forward, knees underneath the hips, hands slightly in front of the shoulders. Fingers are spread out and facing forward. Remember, we want that C shape of the hand to be fully on the mat. So those hands are just in front of the shoulders, our toes are tucking under. We're going to push into down dog. So we take a deep breath. And as we exhale, we come up. The head is down and looking through the legs. I'm pushing my heels towards the floor, but they might not quite be there. I apologise for flashing flesh. So we're holding it there. Our feet are hip distance apart, but anatomically it is okay for you to take them a bit wider if that is more comfortable for you. Hands are relaxed, reaching forward, and we're holding it there nice and still. So remember, this is tough on the wrist, so if at any point you need to take a break, you just come down, come back, rotate your wrists in one direction and then the other, okay? Because it is, down dog is tough on the wrists, okay? So we're holding there. Can we do running dog? So we're pushing the alternate knee back and forth, back and forth. So if you're running, and then both heels down, take a deep breath. As we exhale, we're going to walk our hands towards our feet. So this might be challenging. Bend the knees as you do so. Allow yourself, I'm just walking into the shot a little bit, since like that. So my knees are bent, my head is hanging, my pelvic floor is engaged, my abdominal belt is engaged. I do not want you to straighten your legs, I want you to keep them nice and bent. So remember, in yoga there is the philosophy that we should straighten out those legs, but that's going to overstretch those back extensor muscles, and then anatomically, modern day science tells us don't overstretch those back extensors. And you know, so I always teach with a bent knee for a forward fold because it's much safer for you and your back. So we're just relaxing there, knees are soft, core's engaged. Remember, the head's the heaviest part of the body, it's going to be the last part that comes up. So we take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly, 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 tuck the tailbone under, head's coming up last, Knees are nice and soft. I am coming up sequentially, stacking my spine. And I come up to the top. Shoulder blades back and down. And I'm taking my legs nice and wide. And as I take them nice and wide, I look down and I can see that my toes are level. So I can see that my toes are level. If you need to adjust them, we just shimmy them back. So you want a nice wide stance. This is not a wide stance. Wider than the hips, okay? Wider than the hips. Tailbones under, shoulder blades are back and down. Let us turn our right foot towards the wall, or whatever is in your direction on that side. You're not in my loft conversion. So we're turning that right foot. The hips are naturally going to rotate. That's okay. That's normal. You're then going to turn this other foot, the left foot, by about 30 degrees. So the heel's going to turn out and it's going to turn 30 degrees this way. So our hips are going to be slightly rotated. We're going to pull them back as best as we can, and that doesn't mean forcing them. You just bring them where it feels right and comfortable for you. You're bringing your arms up and your palms are facing forward towards me. Your shoulder blades are back and down and you're looking forward. So what I want you to imagine, we're going into triangle, as if someone is taking hold of this arm. We take a deep breath, as if we're being pulled over, and we're keeping the legs straight as we can. And sometimes the knees are going to fight us on this. They're going to say, hang on a minute, I want to bend, okay? So if you need a little bit of softness in there, a little bit of softness is okay. Let your body be your guide. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, we're coming over. Now we can stop at any point. We can rest our hand by our thigh. We can rest it by our calf. We can take it down towards the ankle. We could even use our block or our book to rest our hand on. What we want is our shoulders directly above one another and our chest open, heads looking forward. Now if we want to challenge our balance even more, we can rotate the head to look up that arm and our palms facing forward. So our core's engaged and we're nice and strong. Use your breath. So you're going to feel this. So we're getting a stretch on here, we're getting a stretch on here. It is a tough pose. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. Let's lift, 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 lift. Relax your arms down. Turn the feet forward. Turn the feet forward. So, once you've turned your feet forward, check that the toes are level again for me. Then turn your left foot to the opposite side. Turn the back heel on the right foot outwards. And then toes are pointing forward by 30 degrees. I'm just going to pop that block there. So I can use my block on my book if I so wish. Hips, I'm pulling them as forward as I can. Shoulder blades are back and down. Chest is open. Palms facing forward. Eyes looking forward. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Ooh, I can feel that all here today. Hold it there. I think I need to move my tripod further back. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, we're coming over. Remember, we can be by the thigh, by the calf, by the knee, down to the ankle. The hand could even be on the floor, or maybe we're using our block. Shoulders are directly, we want that nice straight line. Eyes are looking forward. If we want to challenge our balance more, we look up. Pelvically abdominally connected. Hold it there. Hold it there. Nice and strong. Now let us take a deep breath. Keep that connection. Palms facing forward. Deep breath in. Let us lift. Let us lift. You don't have to bring your block or your book back up. That's just me. And relax. Now as we relax in the centre, let's roll those shoulders a few times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. It's okay. Keeping your legs in that wide position, we're going for a wide forward fold. Now again, as we do a wide forward fold, if you want to have some softness, sorry, I'm having a little jiggy there. If you want to have some softness in your knees, so a little bending in your knees, you can do, that's no problem. So we're going to inhale up, arms around the world, and as if we're diving off a springboard, we're coming over. So if you want to have bend in your knees to take the pressure out of your lower back, that's at this point you can do. Take your hands to the inside of your ankles or the inside of the calves or the inside of the knees, wherever you can reach, and hold. Your head's looking to the back of the room and you're just holding that posture. Your core is engaged, your abdominal belt is engaged, and you're just staying there nice and strong for me, nice and strong. Hold it there. So you're going to feel that along the back of the thighs. Even if you've got that bend in your knees, you're still going to feel it in the hamstrings. But making sure wherever you are in that position, whether you've got the knees soft, you have got that pelvic floor and that abdominal belt connected, because that is all our movement is coming from the core. So let's be really safe in how we move. Now take the hands from the inside of the ankle, let them just come to the floor beneath you. If you've got your block or your book nearby, you might want to just pop your hands on them. And we're just holding it there. Just relaxing there. Taking a deep breath. We're going to roll up here. Remember that head is the heaviest part of the body, usually between 10 and 14 pounds. So let's bring it up last. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly, slowly begin to roll up. Stacking the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming. Nice and steady. Very gently walk your feet in. Walk your feet in. So we are going to do some easy peelers. I'm just popping that out of the way. So all we're going to do is bend the knees. Easy peelers. Bringing some energy into the feet. Now I'm just going to have a look and come close to you for a second. I'm just checking my time on there. I've got a clock up there, but I've just realised there are two different times, so it's confusing me. So we're going to work on our balance here. Now remember, with balance, if you're on a mat, you're going to be a little bit less stable. Now if you're doing this without a mat and you're just doing it on your carpet or a towel at home, dependent on your level of underlay, that could also challenge your balance as well. If you're on a tile or a wooden floor, obviously that's going to be more stable. If you're wearing socks, again, they're going to challenge your stability. So just things to be conscious of whilst you're doing your balance exercise. So we are going to start with our feet a little bit wider. Okay, so hip distance, and if you're not sure how to gauge that hip distance, just turn them out like Mary Poppins, and then heels out, and we've got our hip distance. Knees are going to be soft for this. I want you to bring your hands across your chest, so they just cross the chest. Tailbone is under, core's engaged, pelvic floor's engaged. I'm taking my right foot and I'm just stepping it out fractionally to the side. It's turning out. All I'm going to do is lift into this foot. This big toe is resting on the floor. I'm going to take my arms up into a V shape, reaching out, and then I can either keep this big toe on the floor, I'm getting really bad cramp in that foot, or I can lift it. So we are a willow tree. So the wind has come along and blown us into our willow tree, and we're holding that position. Stay there. I'm just moving a little bit more into the camera so you can see. So both my arms, I'm creating a V shape. Now if we've got any shoulder issues or this feels too much, bring your hands to your hips. Keep the hips facing forward. What we don't want is the body rotating, okay? So the hip, the shoulders are facing forward. We've got that V shape. If we can, palms are facing forward. We're holding it there, breathing nice and deep, in through the nose, out through the nose. And remember, when we're working on balance, we're working on stabilising and strengthening that supporting side. As we get older, our balance gets more challenged, so it's really good to work on balance. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring it down. Let's bring the feet together and let's just have easy peelers. So when we're working on that one leg in balance, it can be quite tough on the ankles, on that supporting side. So let's just easy peel them out. Okay, feet hip distance apart again. Remember, we can just take that thumb and that little finger, take it over the little toes, and they will just sit in that point. And that again gives us our hip distance range. Let us take the left foot, just slightly turn it out. Okay, so it's just past probably about 40-degree angle, turn it out. Knees are soft, hands are across the chest. Hips facing as forward as they can. Maybe take a deep breath. Exhale, toe points out, arms are lifting to that V shape. Before we could reach the ceiling for a moment, give you some extra stability. Now we can stay here where we can lift and hold. Hips are facing forward, shoulders, and I've got that V shape with my arms. Remember, if it's too much on the shoulders, we can have our hands on our hips. If we're nervous about having the foot up off the floor, we can rest the big toe on the floor. Still challenging our balance, okay? Still challenging our balance. So we're holding it there, and ignore my foot, I've got cramp. Clearly not drank enough water this morning so far. So your foot would be still. I've just got cramp. So remember, we can push our tongue to the roof of the mouth to help with our balance. To be fair, if you wiggle the toes of the foot that's floating, it'll probably help with your balance as well. So nice and strong. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring it down. Bring your feet together. Easy healers. So nice and steady. Now, let us turn sideways and have the length of the mat behind us. So I'm just going to come a little bit forward into the screen so you see it. So you want the length of your mat behind you. And we're standing in mountain pose, so let's turn us down. We've got our feet together. We lift our toes up, spread them out and place them back down so we've got nice firm roots. Tailbone is under, pelvic floor, abdominal belt connected, shoulder blades in those back pockets. Let's inhale around the world. And as you exhale, gently bend the knees. Hands come to the thighs. So our knees are bent. Take a deep breath. And as we exhale, we bring the hands down. We're coming down onto one knee, down onto the other, onto all fours. Back to shell stretch again. Knees go wide, big toes together. Bum comes back. Now remember, if you're not comfortable with shell stretch, we can be in child's pose. So we're just resting here. Remember, the head can rest on the block. Child's pose is just having the knees facing forward, shoelaces full, letting the head relax back. We can have the bum up in the air if it's uncomfortable taking the bum low, but we can also be using cushions to support under there as well. So let's just have this stretch for a moment. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring one hand by the head and the other hand lift up, come over onto your bottom for me. Over onto your bottom. So again, at this point, we could be using our hard back book or our block if we so wish. So remember, if you're on that block or that book, the soft part of the bum wants to be on the block, and the edges, the bones of the bum want to be at the edge. So all we're going to do is bend our right knee. You're going to take a hold of the right knee with the right hand and a hold of the foot. So either the toes, the ankles, whatever's comfortable, and just begin to open the leg out and across, so back and across, back and across, back and across, back and across. Now very gently, let us rest the foot onto the thigh if we can. Now with this, so we're in like a half lotus, we are in a half lotus position with the leg extension here. Now half lotus, depending on your ankle flexibility, can be quite uncomfortable. So we can always pop a cushion on our thigh here. So hand on the knee, take a deep breath. As you exhale, we're gently pressing down. Now again, this is tough on the hip and the knee, so we can have cushions underneath here. If it's uncomfortable, keep it up, or just keep it in that position and take it out to the side without placing it onto the thigh. That's absolutely fine. Let's just hold it there for a moment. Hold it there for a moment. Open up the hips and pelvis. Sitting nice and tall. Breathe in and out from the nose. Let's take a deep breath. Let's exhale. Let's just do the other side, okay? So we're going to bend that knee, left hand takes hold of the knee, left hand to the toes, and we're just going to gently bring it across and out, so opening it up. The aim is to open up the hips and the pelvis as we're doing this. So nice and steady. And then very gently take the foot down, gently bring it down. Remember, we can have cushions underneath, either the foot, the knee. We can have that foot to the side, we could be dropping it out to the side rather than having it on the knee. And remember, with this move, ankle movement is, you know, if you've got movement in the ankle, then that is going to help you with the move. If you've broken your ankle, or you've got quite stiff ankles, or you've got weak ankles, this can be quite challenging, so just go with what feels right for you. Don't beat yourself up, as I always say in class, don't beat yourself up about what you